Hey, Nate, have you ever thought about what kind of sea creature you would want to be? Or have you ever thought about what kind of show you would want to cross over with SpongeBob?
Why no, Eric? I haven't.
Be a lot cooler if you did.
The bean holes, it's Eric and Nate, the bean holes, they're really pretty great, so shut up and listen to them talk. Eric and Nate.
Many guest stars over the years have appeared on Spongebob Squarepants playing various sea creatures, including Johnny Knoxville, who played a shrimp, and Jeffrey Tambor, who played the merman, King Neptune. So, if we were guest stars on SpongeBob SquarePants and had the honor of picking our sea creature, what kind of sea creature do you see yourself playing on television? Or at least voicing. You're not going to get in costume and walk around like your sea creature, unless you show up and you're like, I am a dedicated actor. I have to be the part.
Well, I would do that.
Okay.
Therefore, I think I would be coral. I'd be a piece of coral named Carl, and that would allow me to record the whole thing just like not moving. Just, yeah, what do you want?
Look at this coral on the couch. It's couch coral.
Yeah.
Is that how the coral would sound?
Yeah.
All right, so...
What would you be?
So, hold on. So how does the coral... It doesn't walk.
No.
So how does it just get blown into town and is just...
No, they have to come to me.
If I was writing SpongeBob, I would say this angry, upset piece of coral just blows into town, is stuck in front of SpongeBob's door, and he can't get through the front door.
Yeah, maybe.
And you're just like, find another way out. I'm not moving.
Could grow on his pineapple. Coral just grows. What would you be?
I was trying to think. Now, at first, I wanted there are jellyfish in the show, and they're kind of the birds of. Actually, I think not mollusks. What are the like shells? I don't know. There's shells that are like birds. The jellyfish are almost like insects.
There's shells that are like birds?
They chirp like birds. They're like meant to be birds.
Okay.
Remember I showed you the first 5 minutes of the episode, and he has a shell.
We are talking about mollusks.
In a bird cage, yeah, a mollusk. So I thought, all right, I want to be a sentient talking jellyfish, because that's never really appeared in the show.
Right.
But then I came across a horseshoe crab, which I thought as not dangerous as horseshoe crabs are. They seem like they have just the worst time. They get stuck on their back. They're almost like turtles. And I feel like the amount of comedy that you could probably get out of an episode with a horseshoe crab is worth having. If
Is Mr. Krabs a horseshoe crab?
No, because he doesn't have the like that spine and the whole.
Sure.
I think he's just a crab.
Oh, just a crab.
With
Crabby
a
crab.
whale of a daughter.
That is not a nice thing to say about a young lady.
What can I say?
You know what I would like to be? A Portuguese man of war.
I thought about that.
Here's the thing. A lot of people don't realize that a Portuguese man of war is not just one organism. It's like 4 or 5 creatures in a symbiotic relationship, and I would love to play
different voices.
Yeah, just different voices of this.
And you got a mohawk, because they usually have those giant like blue mohawks on top of them.
I mean, I don't think I would change my hairstyle to be a voice actor in a cartoon.
You come in with a big blue mohawk, and you're like, I'm here to play Portuguese Man of War. What do you think his name would be? Would his name be Man of War?
No. Well, first of all,
Manny Man of
he'd
War?
have the different names.
Okay.
I'd say Paul.
Is it the main one?
Pete. Paco.
Paco only speaks Spanish. Or Portuguese.
Yeah.
Is Portuguese. So
Pablo would speak Portuguese.
Okay.
Paco would speak Spanish. And Dave.
It really gets confusing when Paco and Pablo start arguing with each other because, there are some similarities to Spanish and Portuguese, but they're vast. They're like different in extreme ways.
It'd be like, oh, tengo la mantequilla en mis pantalones.
And is Paul? Is he the main one? Is he just like, don't worry about that? That's Pablo or Paco.
Yes.
I'm picturing it in my head. A stingray has never really appeared on the show. That was another one that I was thinking about. But then I remembered how much I dislike stingrays because they took down Steve Irwin.
Yeah. Also, if you're gonna get a stingray,
Steve the Stingray,
maybe. If you're gonna have a stingray on SpongeBob, they should get Gordon Sumner to voice it.
Gordon Sumner.
Oh, you might know him as Sting.
The wrestler?
No, the real Sting. Anyway,
WCW World Heavyweight Champion of 1997.
Sure.
That is the real Sting. Surprisingly, there has been... I went through a list of sea creatures. Most of them have been...
Wait, what do you mean you went through a list of sea creatures?
If you Google sea creatures...
Oh, I thought you were talking about bestiality.
Gross. Yeah, you should see the Portuguese Man of War 1 cup.
Ew. Okay.
And most of them have actually appeared on the show. I thought there's been sea lions, there's been killer whales, lobsters, whales, regular whales, not killer whales. A beluga whale I don't think has appeared, but I don't want to be a beluga whale, as cute as they are. Or a sea manatee.
A manatee. It's just called a manatee.
The sea cow.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's rude, but
that is.
But it's no ruder than calling an orca a killer whale. So.
Oh yeah, because they're not that killer.
Oh, they're killer, all right.
One of the biggest events in Nickelodeon history was the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour, which was this massive crossover between the Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron, because one show is about magic, the other is science. They were able to mix those together, and it actually had an entire trilogy of movies over the course of 3 years. Now, Nickelodeon has crossed over a few of their properties in video games, including SpongeBob and Danny Phantom, Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron. But if we were to cross over SpongeBob with another show, what would we pick?
Well, the guideline you gave me for this question was that it could either be any Nickelodeon show, cartoon or not, or any animated series that's not on Nickelodeon.
Right, but it would it would have to be animated.
Okay, then I would absolutely love to see SpongeBob cross over with Animaniacs.
Wow.
Okay, you get and what would happen is something in the story would make them kind of pair off, make some of the main characters pair off. So I think you would end up with Yakko and SpongeBob going off and dealing with something. You'd have Wacko and Patrick
eating,
and Dot and Sandy. All right, and then you could mix it up.
Professor Scratch and Sniff and Squidward,
maybe, or the Brain and Plankton.
They're both tiny.
Actually, I don't know why I said or. Both of those could happen.
I honestly, wow, that works out so much well. Now, are they going into each other's worlds, or is it the SpongeBob characters coming into the real world?
I'd say they're going into each other's worlds.
Okay.
I would like the Animaniacs to actually somehow fall off a cruise ship or something
and end up underwater.
Yeah. But I would say they'd have to be solving some problem that affects all of them. Maybe defeating Thanos, and so they have to have 6 pairs to go along and deal with each Infinity Stone.
Thanos is now into this. This is the Avengers Animaniacs Bob Pants special. I stuck. Now I was going to do Ren and Stimpy at first because it felt such a natural pairing with in Ren and Stimpy's world, all of these I forgot the word, anamorphic.
Anthropomorphic?
Yes, that word. all these animals walking around that can talk. Some humans can hear them, some can't. And I thought, all right, if you take the SpongeBob characters and put it in that world, you have loads of comedy. But then I said, no, I felt like it was too much of a cop-out. I am mixing SpongeBob SquarePants and Rocket Power together. Rocket Power was made by the same creators of Rugrats and the Wild Thornberrys, and it was a show definitely more in reality about a bunch of kids skateboarding in California. They live right by the ocean. So I thought, all right, well, what if SpongeBob and a few of his, they already in the second SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, came to the real world and interacted with humans. So what if, just in an animated sense, they left the ocean and interacted with humans, maybe get SpongeBob on a skateboard? And I thought that could work because Rocket Power is not on television anymore, and kind of extreme sports has been on a downward slide. But I think with the right retooling, it could be brought up again.
You're just the tool for the job.
I am the tool for the job. I think I can do it. But that one I felt made the most sense to me if I was going to stick with Nickelodeon. Outside of Nickelodeon, it was really. I kept thinking of just undersea shows. Like, if I know Finding Nemo is not a show, but I would like to see Pixar tackle like a SpongeBob, like what their idea of SpongeBob would be, like in a 3D sense. Because if there was any company out there who could do it, it would be DreamWorks.
That was a bait and switch. Good job.
You're welcome. Did you want to see Keep On Being It?
Keep on being it.
Perfect.
The Bean Holes.
Look it up.